welcome to another edition of Terror Time Tea. I'm continuing the Dario Argento theme because we still are in the middle of Argento August. Well, actually, we're getting into the tail end of Argento August, and I'm having some tea. This is the Sinus Soother tea, and I was going to see if y'all could see my little skull. I don't think I've showed him for a while inside my cup. I think this is one of the most beautiful, elegant cups I own to drink tea out of. I also have my little skull spoon. But today, I'm going to be talking, or tonight rather, I'm going to be talking about Dario Argento's The Card Player. I'm trying to continue this theme with Terror Time Tea for Argento August of talking about a movie of Dario Argento's that maybe people don't think about a lot when they think about Argento films, or that people haven't talked about in general. Okay. This is Steve's copy of it. I don't own a copy of it. And I'm going to get to why I don't have a copy of it, because there is a very good reason why I do not. Okay. So just wanted to let everybody know, of course, there's no watch alongs this weekend. Candace and I, we both kind of had things come up that indicated that I needed to cancel Friday Foolish for this week. We've got an extra special Friday Foolish for next Friday. It will not be the Hammer and Gothic Horror Part 2. That will be the following Friday, September 6th, I believe. But we will be doing an extra special, super secret Friday Foolish that I think you guys and gals are really going to enjoy. I don't want to give anything away. We will soon be having some promotional material for this Friday Foolish, so stay tuned for all of that. I may try to do another Van Holten's Pickle Challenge this weekend. And also, there will be another countdown to Horror Hound weekend. We've got about maybe 3 more of these, counting this week's, before Horror Hound weekend, right? So, let's get to the Card Player, shall we? Okay, I had watched this one other time several years ago, so I had to refresh myself on it. There was a time when I was trying to watch just about every Argento film, or at least, the horror ones or the Giallo ones or whatever. Um, well, my thoughts really hadn't changed on this, and Steve doesn't have favorable thoughts about this film either. Um, it is a little bit longer, than your average film at 104 minutes. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on this movie. I didn't absolutely hate it, but one of the things that really stood out with this one, let me give you a plot synopsis first. I didn't really like the game the killer was playing, which was basically online poker or video poker. So, um, Anchor Bay, on the little blurb on the back of this DVD, says he returns to classic form. I don't think so with this, but it's a thriller about a serial killer who taunts police with online video poker. But for every round the cops lose, a kidnapped young girl is mutilated live via webcam. So, Italian detective Stefania Rocca plays the Italian detective, and an Irish forensic expert played by Liam Cunningham. So they're working together to try to find out who the killer is. Okay. So it does have a score by Claudio Simonetti, which is always good, of Goblin. It does have some grisly special effects. Quite, when you see the special effects, you'll know what I mean. They are top notch special effects. Um, but would I call it Argento, one of Argento's best? No, no, I wouldn't. The first thing I noticed upon rewatching this is how cheaply made it was, or how cheaply made it looks. Okay, it may have not been cheaply made. In fact, I maybe could find the budget for this, and that will maybe tell us something. But it looks cheaply made. This did come out in 2003. Let's see if we can find the budget for this. Mm, well, maybe they don't tell us that, right? Let's see. No, I don't. Oh, good gracious. How do I get rid of this? Okay. All I'm trying to do, I guess they want you to buy something to find that information out. Well, that kind of sucks. But his daughter Fior is in this. I'm trying to figure out who she plays. Lucia Marini, and I can't remember if that was one of the victims or not. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of that because I don't want to waste time looking at that. But so I couldn't find the budget, but it does appear to be very cheaply made. Now, like I said, whether or not that is the truth, I don't know for sure. But I told Steve it almost looked like it was made for TV. I said, "Do you know if this was made for Italian television?" He said that he didn't know. So if anybody knows, please, you can share that if you would like. Again, I didn't like the plot device of the killer playing video poker. That just didn't work for me. Um, the look of the corpses after they find one in a body of water, and a little, it has a little bit of shades of Silence of the Lambs to me, because when the Irish forensics expert is looking at the bodies, he is able to find this little tiny seed, and you see him twice finding this little seed. And this gives a clue to where the killer is, because they have all these computer gurus um, that are working with the police to try to locate where the killer is at. And the killer sends them a virus and all kinds of things. I've worked in IT a long time, but I really wasn't interested in the computer slant. I wasn't interested in the plot device of the video poker. Um, and Steve mentioned something else that I totally agree with. He says it has no style. And to me, this did not have Argento's stamp on it. other than the gruesome kills, um, it didn't really have his stamp on it at all. It did not feel or look or even sound really, even with the even with Claudio Simonetti doing the score, um, doesn't doesn't it just doesn't feel like an Argento film. And if I didn't know it was an Argento film, I'd swear it was somebody else's. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't hate the card player, but I do not feel that it's an Argento return to form. I don't feel like it's one of his best films. His older stuff is a lot better than this. Um, and like I said, I would if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't know this was an Argento film. But I would still encourage you to, if you can find a for free version of the card player, to watch it and, make your own mind up about it if you like it or not. Um, this is not one I see myself going back to often. It's not a deep red. It's not a tenebrae. It's not a Suspiria. It's not a phenomena. It's, it's just your plain Jane model. Not really anything to write home about. And it's not really slow. I mean, the film moves at a pretty good pace. I don't think it really needed to be an hour and 43 minutes. But that wasn't overly long. I mean, now if it had been 2.5, 3 hours long, that would have been way, way too long. I would have preferred it to be a little bit shorter. And I don't want to give away the total ending, but of course, towards the end, the killer is revealed. I don't want to give that away in case you have not seen this film. And I just was kind of perplexed by the final scene. It didn't really have any punch to it. Um, and that didn't seem like an Argento film either. Where at the end of Deep Red, the killer is dispatched very dramatically, very bloody. Um, at the end of Four Flies on Grey Velvet, the killer is dispatched, and you have that wonderful slow motion scene. Um, this is just sort of it's just there. Really, no, like I said, no to it, no punch at all, and that's sad because I think Argento was always a master of that. Um, I don't know if he was tired when he was making this. He was bored with it, whatever. Somebody was not letting him do what he wanted, or, maybe the studio wasn't really letting him do what he wanted to do with this. Um, I don't know. It seemed like something was missing. All the time I was watching this, it was like I kept waiting for a lot of the typical Argento hallmarks to pop up. And other than the gruesome murders, and some maybe some black gloves, stuff like that, it didn't really have those Argento hallmarks to it. So I'm not going to give it my worst rating, but I'm definitely not going to give it my highest rating. I am going to give it 3 deadites out of 5. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. It just sort of for me, meh, as people say. Um, so I guess, I'm not going to babble on about the card player. And I have finished my tea, and it was hot or warm all the time I was talking. So that's always a good sign. But I want to thank everybody for checking this video out. Keep in mind that the Terror Time teas are now pre-recorded. That's not to say that I might not do a live one at some point. Um, these are the new Friday Foolish, like the alternate shirts. I've still got to get Candace's sent out to her, which I hopefully will get her sent out, and her I Love Robert England shirt that both of us will be donning at Horror Hound Weekend, um, coming in a couple of weeks. And so I guess I'm out of here. I'm off like a dirty shirt once again. Hopefully, I can get this uploaded around 12ish or before 12ish, because I like to actually get these on there on Fridays, but that's just me. I'm just picky that way. But I want to remind everybody, as I always try to do before I get off of here for the night, I want to remind everyone to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have an awesome rest of your Friday, and let's make the weekend a kick ass weekend, okay? And I will see everybody next time. Thanks for watching, folks.